The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark. When Jesus had risen early on the first day of the week, he appeared first to Mary Magdalene, out of whom he had driven 7 demons. She went and told his companions who were mourning and weeping. When they heard that he was alive and had been seen by her, they did not believe. After this, he appeared in another form to 2 of them walking along on their way to the country. They returned and told the others, but they did not believe them either. But later, as the 11 were at table, he appeared to them and rebuked them for their unbelief and hardness of heart, because they had not believed those who saw him after he had been raised. And he said to them, "Go into the whole world and proclaim the gospel to every creature." The Gospel of the Lord. Bulahang weekend ka natong tanan og Happy Easter. Our Gospel reading for today, the second to the last day of the so-called octave, is actually taken from the Gospel of Saint Mark, which, if we try to take a look into the very structure of the Gospel, ended with a very sad note, because according to the history, the manuscript of the Gospel of Mark is unfinished. There is something detached in the ending, and its proper ending is that verse that said, after Jesus appeared to the women who went to the tomb early in the morning when he was raised from the dead, they were afraid. And it is not a good note for a gospel reading to end with a note of them being afraid. So, according to the understanding, through the centuries or through the years, the ending of the Gospel of Mark was reconstructed, and that is what we are reading today. And if you notice, the reconstruction has something to do with what is found in the Gospel of Luke about the 2 disciples, which is famously known as the disciples going to Emmaus. And then, of course, with Mary Magdalene, which is really the basic ending of the basic scene of the resurrection. But here in the gospel reading, 3 times is mentioned, for they did not believe those who saw. That's why Jesus reprimanded them. And instead, with this reprimand, they were commanded to go into the whole world to proclaim the gospel to every creature. Now, every creature does not mean only human beings. Every creature is anything that God has created, inanimate and animate. Would this be a little bit of a punishment for them who did not believe? I think a little bit of it is true. But this very message of the resurrected Lord to the disciples to proclaim the gospel into the whole world to all creatures is actually embracing the whole of creation. Dili lang mga tao nga mamati, o di man gani mamati pud ang mga tao, no? Usahay na atay mga paagi, for example. There are many things that when we try to come into terms with the message, there are really sometimes what we call obstacles, no? You know, most of the time, every time the gospel is read or the homily is given, sige tagpag, nga mong gid na? Nyag dili na gani homily, dili na gani sharing, wala. Oh, mag-consecration gani, napunta. No, I don't know if this is really something that is an incursion and in something like that, no? But we have to be aware of this, because these are ways of distracting us from the things that we are doing. Muna nga mas maayo pa nga musangyaw ta sa mga dili tawo kay hinaot na mati, no? Diba? Sometimes say, talk to the wall may listen to you. Because you know, sometimes people are not just so attentive. That's why a very important image is really found in the story of Saint Anthony of Padua. Do you know where Saint Anthony preached the gospel? Not to the people, but to the cats, to the dogs, to the fish, to the wild animals. May pang mga animals kay mamati pa. So this is the very challenge of the resurrection. If we do not believe, we get a little of a compromise. But then, as Christians, to bless our homes, to bless our cars, to bless anything, is actually taking into the very message of God's salvation through the resurrection of His Son. Muna nga magpa-blessing mo groceryuan, magpa-blessing mo usahay libro, magpa-blessing magani mo usahay og sing-sing. No? Uban gani lapis before the examination. This is how interesting our faith is. But then, it is based on the faith that we accept, the faith that we show, the faith that we live. Amen.